Eight, seven, six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Andy Decodes, the 12th Dimension. Sit back and enjoy as we dive deeper down into the rabbit hole.
Hello and welcome to the show. Today I'm joined with Harlem Jones, aka aka I Talk Cryptids. Thank you for joining. Just before we do start, I did tell everyone last week, but for those that weren't in, you are only 16, so can we please keep the language to a minimal and be respectful, and that's it. So. Right, I don't really know a lot about you, other than the few little chats that we've been having. So, because you are, very young compared to me and probably most of the people in the chat, how did you get into cryptids, and at what age was it?
Well, I've always been interested in the topic, but I think part of that is I grew up watching mostly American shows such as Finding Bigfoot, Monster Quest, and that kind of sparked my imagination that there is these elusive creatures roaming America. I didn't really think there was possibility here in England until I started reading a lot more books and such. And then I kind of got into the topic and I started doing, outdoor investigations at maybe the age of 13 out in the local woods. Not suspecting to find anything, but just doing it for the whole hobby and interest of doing it. Yeah. So I'd say I've always been interested in the topic.
Yeah. So why cryptids, or why not like the ghosts or like demonology, UFOs, aliens? Why this particular subject?
Well, I find cryptids to be the most fascinating of the choices, mostly because it's such like a wide range of things that do get reported around the globe. You get generic ones such as Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and then you can get into some really weird ones such as the Hopkinsville Goblins and the Fresno Nightcrawlers. And so it's a proper diverse topic. So it's not just one thing you're constantly talking about. It's a range of multiple different creatures, beings, entities, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you. So I'm going to ask you anyway. So what's your favourite cryptid?
Gosh, I get asked this quite a lot. I would say the Mothman. It's a very cool one, but the one that I do prefer more than the Mothman is our British equivalent, which is the Cornish Owlman, which is obviously down in Cornwall in the village of Mornan. And it's very similar to the Mothman, but it's got a different name because obviously copyright, trademark, all that stuff. But yeah, I'd definitely say the Cornish Owlman for sure.
So with the Owlman, weren't there? I don't know if it was last year, beginning of this year, there was more sightings of it. Am I right?
Oh, right. I've never actually heard anything of recent sightings. I've only known of the original ones, which happened around the church. So I've not heard about any recent sightings. So
they were in the 90s, weren't they?
Yeah.
Was it 92, 93-ish? I can't remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's... Sorry, I'm just trying to think how to word it. What's your take on how they are? What's your take on how they're visible for us to see? What do you think's going on? Well, it doesn't matter whether this is what you think from day one right the way through. But at this moment in time, how do you think we're able to see certain ones at certain times?
Well, I think we're all very different. I think some definitely can be, blood and flesh.
Yeah.
Very real creatures. But at the same time, I feel like some of them may come into the category of being somewhat supernatural or interdimensional, especially some here in the UK, because obviously the woodlands here are a lot smaller than, say, the Pacific Northwest. And so I feel like for a blood and flesh creature like the Bigfoot or the British Bigfoot to be here, I feel like if it was blood and flesh, it must have been found by now, because the woods are just so much smaller.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they are interdimensional, it rises the possibility, as they aren't always there, they might be seen once and then disappear, never to be seen again in that specific area. And obviously there are hotspots around the world, especially here in Britain, such as Cannock Chase, Harwood Forest, Derby Forest, big coasts of these, or big hotspots of these elusive creatures. So I definitely say it's a mix of both blood and flesh and interdimensional.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. Right, we've got our first question, and this is from Ancient Reuben. She'd like to know, has Hallam ever experienced, seen the cryptid? Why is he not afraid? Thank you.
I had one, or at least what I believe to be a encounter with a group of friends back in December of 2019, winter time. We were on winter holidays. We wanted to get out of the village we were in at the time, get away from all the old people and kind of do our own thing, build a bushcraft shelter. And one of my friends had the idea. He knew a woods about 20 minutes walk away, which absolutely no one knows about. And so the next day we decided to go there. We went to our local shop, which was the Co-op, and we got some snacks and we headed over there, hoping to go build some kind of shelter to escape the village from.
Yeah.
We got there. We were met with a barbed wire fence, which we did safely climb over.
Yeah.
After walking about 5 minutes into the woods, one of my friends noticed something, and he pointed us over in a direction where there was this wooded area, a lot darker than the rest of the woods. And that's when we saw it's going to sound crazy when I say it. It was like the velociraptors from the Jurassic Park movies.
Right.
It looked almost identical to one of them. And so we saw it. We didn't really know what to do. And for some reason, one of my mates counted down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we just pegged it over the fence. I felt safe because I brought a hammer from home to help with this, what we were going to turn into a bushcraft shelter. So I got this hammer out of my bag, thinking something was going to jump out at me while we were running away. It never did. it did just pretty much run away. Well, not run away. It never really saw us. But it just ran into the underbrush of the woods.
Right.
Ever since then, we've never returned to that forest, and I'm not even in contact with any of those friends anymore. But
Right.
really strange experience, yeah.
Do you think that was some sort of like, I suppose, time slip? Do you think that's why it didn't see you, or I don't know? It could be anything.
It could be for sure. I mean, there's all sorts of other apparent dinosaur-like creatures that get seen around the world, such as I think it's Makemble Membe, which is seen.
Is that the one in Africa?
In Africa, yeah, which is like the Brachiosaurus type thing.
Yeah.
I know there's this one with a weird name over in Australia, which is like a Carnotaurus Rex kind of thing.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it possibly could be a slip in time. I'm just not too sure, because I think when we saw it, we were more frightened instead of wanting to like think what it was.
Yeah. So
we only saw it for a split second, but very strange. Could be anything, blood and flesh.
Yeah.
Anything, to be honest. Yeah.
No, it's like we saying that. I know people are going to go, "Oh, not again." But I've seen what I believe is a pterodactyl.
I've heard the reports of them around here. Yeah.
Just watched it fly over. And there's a guy that's not too far from you. He does a podcast as well, and he's had a few. I went on his show and I was telling him about it, and he said he's had a few reports of the same thing, and even the way it described how it flew and what it did and everything is like exactly the same. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
and that kind of clarified everything for me that it did actually happen, and I did see it, and it wasn't an imagination.
That you're not the only one that saw that kind of creature, yeah.
No, so yeah, I believe that they do exist, and it's like Jason Pritchard in the chat. He goes, he was thinking time slip as well, because if you think about it, you see something, and that doesn't, especially with that type of creature, it's going to pick up on either smell, sounds, or movement.
Yeah.
But did you move at all when you seen it? Did any of you move, or was you talking, anything like that, or did you just go stop?
Well, the only really communication we had, like we saw it, we were like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm not going to swear anything on here, but we were like, "What on earth is that?" And the last thing that anyone said in my area was the countdown until we just ran out of the woodlands. But yeah, we didn't say much. Obviously, we did run, which was the only kind of movement we did there. But yeah,
right, yeah, because it's just strange how it didn't pick you guys up. Yeah, no, just wondering. That was all. Jo is a mod, and she wants to know how big was it? Can you remember?
Well, it will be hard to say a exact height, as it was quite far away from us. But basing off the trees that it was around, I'd say maybe 3 to 4 foot. It wasn't necessarily that big, but it was big enough to see from that distance we were at.
Yeah. So have you had, or do you know of anyone that's had any more sightings in that area or close by?
Strangely enough, no. Nothing like that gets seen around the area. I wouldn't say any cryptids at all have been seen around here, except maybe the Forest of Halland. But nothing like a raptor has been seen there. I've mostly been dogmen, Bigfoots up in that area. So nothing like this around where I live, or at least what I know of.
Right. So are you, I don't want to give you his location away completely, but are you up near Morecambe Bay, around that area?
I am. I'm 2 villages away from Morecambe Bay, yeah.
Right, okay.
Right next to it, yeah.
Because I don't know if you know, that is, it's not, well, I suppose it is a bit of a hot spot for UFOs. I don't know if you're aware of that. Just with you saying, like, you concentrate more on cryptids, I didn't know if you're in the UFO.
I've heard people of strange stories from Morecambe Bay, like a lot of paranormal stuff. And I'd say only maybe a couple of UFO reports from around the bay. Yeah. But I've never heard of any that like proper stand out.
Right. No, cheers. I was just wondering, that was all.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple of people that live up that way.
Yeah.
Right, so we've done that one. Right, next question is from Nickname. She would like to know, where would Harlem like to investigate anywhere in the world, and why?
Well, obviously, I like to stay here in Britain. I mean, during the summer, I'm returning to Cannock Chase, which is our apparent biggest hotspot for these beasties. But obviously, anywhere in the world, there's a lot of options. I'd say definitely somewhere across the pond in the USA.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to West Virginia. Obviously, Mothman, Flowers Monster, Bigfoot sightings.
Everything happens there, doesn't
it? Everything happens there. So I'd say maybe West Virginia, maybe, yeah.
Cool, thank you. Right, it's a similar sort of question from Miss Jilly B. I can never remember how you pronounce her name. She will tell me in a minute. Hi, Alan. What's your favourite cryptid? Which you kind of already answered. And if you could go and research anywhere in the world. So to me, that's a different question.
It is different because it's not just investigating, but it's for research as well.
Yeah.
And I'd say definitely still over in the US.
Yeah.
But I'd say maybe, I think it's Bluff Creek, where the original Patterson-Gimlin film was taken. Could be a pretty awesome place to investigate or research. Because, if there's any footprints or anything that's been left behind, yeah.
Right. Well, when you mentioned Patterson-Gimlin, what's your take on the movie? Do you believe it's genuine, fake? Well, I
feel like at the time, a costume like that would be very, very difficult to make, especially for just a short documentary or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, I feel just somewhat skeptical because I know Patterson-Gimlin, in his little books or diaries, his sketch of a Bigfoot was a female one with breasts, which is the exact one he saw later on the film. Which kind of makes me think, was it all planned out? That's why it's the exact same one he did in the sketch before he even saw the creature itself. But I think that's the only part that does seem somewhat skeptical to me.
Yeah, no, cheers. So do you reckon the rest of it, was it? Don't know. Because there's more footage to it, isn't there, than what we're actually been shown. Have you seen the rest of it? Because it is out.
I've not seen the rest of it. No, I've only seen the more famous one where it is just Pi moving or walking the camera.
Yeah, with Red looking back over his shoulder. Joe's just put a good thing in the comment. Maybe he'd seen one before. Maybe that's why he went there with the cine film.
That possibly could be the reason. For it's hard to tell though, because obviously there is no over recording before that. So if he did or if he didn't, it's impossible to know.
Yeah. No, thank you. Right. Next question. Sorry, I'm just going through them all.
That's all
right. Nickname. What drew Harlem to this channel, and who is his favourite guest on here? I'm guessing favourite guest so far.
Oh gosh.
Not to throw you in and say everyone else is crap, but
well, I wouldn't say guess. I mean, guess maybe. I'm a big fan of Deborah Hatswell's channel. And I know BBI Investigations. Yeah, I mean, I've got her books and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd definitely say I know you've had B or Deborah Singleton here, who's spoke to you quite a couple of times. So I'd say maybe her. So I was listening today in the conversations with her. I'd say, probably her. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should say that about Deborah Hartswell, because it's because of her that I started doing this. I was listening to a podcast. I emailed her with a couple of encounters that I had, and then it just went from there. So
same here. I emailed her some time ago about my encounter with the raptor thing. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for that. Right. Sorry, I'm just looking for all the questions.
That's right.
Right, done that one. Right, this is from Ancient Reuben. and it is, why does he want to do this? Is he going to search for them?
Well, I love getting out there in nature. I like going on hikes and stuff. So I think mixing the two is just a brilliant kind of idea for me. I've been to numerous hotspot locations around Britain before for investigation purposes. Like last April, I went to North Yorkshire Moors.
All right. Okay.
I went to Derby Forest, Bempton Cliff, Stainsdyke, which is Paul Sinclair's area, where it does truth proof and stuff. And last summer, I went to Cannock Chase as well. And a bit before that, I went up to Loch Ness as well. So I do like to go out to these locations, especially after hearing all these stories that have come from there.
Yeah, no, same. I was in Cannock Chase beginning of this year. I've been up to I've been up to Loch Ness, like Ben Nevis and around there, but that was years ago. I was in Rendlesham.
Oh yeah,
that was about 3-4 weeks ago. Oh no, it was a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, they are good places to go. You don't get to spend enough time there. No matter how long you're there, it's never long enough.
I guess that in a way is a good thing though, because you don't want to be there for too long, otherwise it'll feel like some other place. You know, you'll end up getting too used to it and it won't feel special the next time you go there.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So it's like I think I'm going to try and go and do a stay over in either Rendlesham or Cannock Chase.
Yeah. By stay over, do you mean like overnight? Like in the woods?
Yeah. So
that's what I did last time at Cannock, and it was very scary there. I thought I heard the screams of a woman, but it turned out to be obviously it was a fox being hunted, which is obviously illegal here. There was two poachers that were hunting foxes with like a dog.
Right, okay.
The scream sounded so ghostly that I kind of stood in shock for the remainder of time until I ended up hearing the two talking.
Right. Cool. Right. Thank you. But we have foxes out the back here, and it does sound like someone being murdered all the time.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when I first started hearing them, it's like, is that a person or is that an animal or what?
Yeah.
So, no, cheers for that. Getting loads of questions tonight, which is really good. So this is from Miss Jilly B, and she'd like to know, what do you believe Sasquatch or Bigfoot are?
I feel like obviously every culture, every country has their own version. You've got Bigfoot in North Pacific, in America. Over here, it's known by a couple of names: the Wild Man or the Woodwose.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got the Yowie in Australia. You've got the Yeti.
Yeah.
So I think each place has its own kind of version of this creature. I think in America, it could very well be blood and flesh. Here, because like I was saying before, not much woodland. I feel like interdimensional. And a lot of other places. I mean, they're described differently as well. Like the Yowies described a lot smaller, a lot slimmer, whereas the American versions described a lot, taller, chunkier in size, a lot more like a gorilla. So I feel like if they're the same species or if they're different altogether, because obviously if you look at great apes, chimpanzees, gorillas, they all have their own different appearances, different like attributes to them.
Yeah.
So it's they could be same species, same animal. Who knows?
Yeah, it's like cause I've always said it's like humans. There's different types of humans. So why can there not be different types of these cryptids like Bigfoot or
100%.
There's not just going to be one breed. Breed the right word? So
sounds like that word, yeah.
Yeah, so it's an odd one.
For sure.
Because we haven't got any definite proof that what these things are and what's actually going on. There is going to be someone or some people out there that know what's what everything is, and they're just not going to be sharing it.
100%, yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Right. So jumping subject. This is from Nickname. She wants to know, what does Harlem think of UFO/UAPs?
Well, I think many different things. Obviously, there's been all sorts of reported sightings of different extraterrestrials. Like, we've got reptilians, greys, even the mantis men. So I feel like it could be a mixture of outer space, our own crafts here on Earth, and perhaps underneath us as well. Say, if you go into the hollow Earth theory or anything like that, there could be, because there's been apparent encounters and sightings of UFOs going into and out of the ocean. So why they go in there, it's unknown. But yeah, I definitely think there's a possibility of all these ideas being true for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually having this conversation today about USOs, aren't they? Unidentified submerged object. What if none of these space vehicles, whatever you want to call them, actually go out of the Earth's atmosphere, and they are all underground bases, whether they get through to and through cave systems, through the oceans, whatever. We're not told, so we don't know.
Yeah.
But that's one of the big possibilities. It could be something to do with inner Earth.
For sure.
And it's easier to go into the water and go into an entrance that way, because it's more difficult to follow than it is to go through, say, a rock opening or in the mountain.
For sure, yeah.
So, the thing in this, anything's possible.
Anything's possible, yeah.
I know. I just wish we had some answers. Even one answer would be great, but to have none, it's annoying. But yeah, no, cheers for that. Next question is from Ancient Reuben. So, what do you have to protect yourself from them? So, do you use crystals or do you do spells?
I don't do spells. I own like many different types of crystals and stuff. I have like a whole box of them.
Yeah.
There is one thing though. I might have it with me. I think I do. I've got a charm, which that's not it. I'm hoping I have it with me here, but I'm not too sure. I've got this charm, and I don't think it's here at the moment. But basically, what it is, it's a necklace.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, those white rocks, like the holes in them.
Oh, yes.
It's a miniature version of one of them on the necklace. And supposedly they're supposed to protect you from bad entities or spirits, whatever.
Are they like the ones that wash up on the beach? Sorry for interrupting. Is that the one you mean?
Those type of ones, yeah. There's like a miniature version of them that I've got on the necklace.
I've got one up there on the I can't reach it at the minute. I'll end up knocking everything over to show. It's probably about that big.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's 4 holes in the top. I can't remember what I can't remember what you call them. Someone will tell us.
Well, yeah, very much like one of them, yeah.
So what do you charge it then?
What do you mean by that, sorry?
Like with the energy, because you're supposed to cleanse them every so often, and then you put them you put them out when there's a full moon to recharge them. But I've got, I don't know if you can see it. I can't remember the name. So that one, that's about 5 inches, about 2 inches thick.
Yeah.
And with that, if you put that near your other crystals, that one recharges all the other crystals that you've got. So you don't have to do. It's less fiddly than getting eye crystals, washing them, putting them out in the moon, and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I just bought that. It's just a quicker way of doing it, apparently. But yeah, if you keep that in the same location as all your others, that recharges them. So
I've never heard that.
So it's got a light underneath it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see it lighting up.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently when there's light underneath, that's when it charges all the others.
Oh right.
I don't know how true it is. That's what the
Yeah.
woman in the call it the witch shop, having a curiosity. That's what she was telling me, and she's been doing it for years. She knows a few people that I know as well, so I believe she's not the sort of person that makes stuff up.
Yeah.
No, but I think crystals are a good thing to have. Do you take them with you though when you go out investigating?
Yeah, I wear them around my neck. So obviously, I got a necklace, and so I wear that rock around my neck. I never really bring crystals though. I usually do kind of keep them all around in my room.
Yeah,
but I only really bring the necklace with me.
Yeah, something that's like not sounding weird, touching your skin, so it's like becomes part of you. Yeah. I've got a couple, but I've got that's obsidian or so I've got a couple like that, just different ones. And when I go out, I keep a couple in the car as well to make sure the car's protected, because I want to get back home after I've been out investigating. I don't want to break down in the middle of nowhere, so I keep them in the car. Yeah. To me, that makes sense. Some people might think absolute nutcase, but it's just what I do. I've not had any issues yet, touch wood. So
touch wood,
they seem to work. But there's a guy, I bought some crystals off him last year. He's going to be coming on the show and talking about crystals, because he'll go out. What I can remember, he goes out to the places where the mind. He doesn't just go and buy them, and then during the summer he does a workshop for kids where they learn about crystals, how they grow, where they come from, and just everything about them. Obviously, I don't know a lot about them, so that's why I'm going to get him on, because I want to learn about them as well, and the different.
Might as well.
Yeah, so I just need to contact him to get him to come on, and he only lives down the road from me, which is even better. I don't know. I looked out the window then, like he was going to be stood there. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully he'll be coming on in the next few months, so that'll be a good one as well. And then he could, for like myself and people that are not that clued up on crystals and what each one does, because I know I do know that there are some crystals that different types of crystals that work together, and then these other types of crystals that kind of had an adverse effect when you put it together. So I just want to know what's what in the world of crystals. So thank you for that. Do you have, so when you go out investigating, I'm guessing you don't go on your own, do you? Or do you?
Sometimes I do. A lot of times, if it's a place closer by that I can just simply walk to, then I will go by myself, hoping that I don't get torn to pieces by Wolfman or something like that. But if it's the place slightly further away, then I will get dropped off there or taken to that area, and then most of the time I will kind of just wander off up there by myself.
Yeah.
Hoping that, like I said before, nothing attacks me. But yeah, I'd say I try my best to go alone.
Yeah. So do you go during the day or night, or does it vary?
A bit of both. Close by, it's mostly during the day. But if it's a place that is well known for these things, such as kind of Chase Derby Forest, like the 2 times I've been there, I have gone both day and night to investigations with my K2 meter, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And because obviously sightings happen all the time, so it's good to get a feeling of the atmosphere in the locations.
Ah, right, okay. So what? And that's my next question. What equipment do you take with you?
Equipment. Well, I take my K2, which is more for paranormal stuff. I mean, all my stuff is mostly paranormal. And recently, it might sound, I'm going to pull it out, it's going to seem very silly, but I got 3 cat balls.
No, right? I know loads. I've got them in my Amazon basket. I just need to buy them.
I've got some special ones though. These ones.
I know loads of people that use them though.
Not opened in the package yet, but it's got a cat on it, so I'm hoping it's trustworthy.
Yeah, spirit cat.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be really good. I had I didn't do it on air. I only did it on the podcast. The paranormal group from I think that around the Birmingham area, Roach Productions, and they go out and they use the cat bars, and they were telling me, they sent me the link to the video, and it's like the results they get from using the cat bars is like nothing else.
Yeah.
Because you have to touch them to make them light up. There has to be some sort of energy near it. And I just need to pay for these. I think it's free for, they're not even expensive. It's like free for £5 or something. I don't even think.
Oh, yeah, pretty cheap, yeah. Just how much you want them to work, though. Because for that price, it's not, you don't know if they're going to work properly or not, but it's always fingers crossed, touch wood, that they do work properly.
Yeah. So you're saying about your K2 meter, is it a digital, or you got the one with the lights across the top?
I've with lights on, like handheld, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I took out of me. I've got some.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I've got some pretty intelligent responses with it as well, especially recently when I went to a abandoned mental hospital in Lancaster. Ooh. I got some bad feelings there as well. I felt ill after coming out of it, but intelligent responses around there. Yeah,
because the one I've got is digital, and it obviously I don't think it will pick anything up, but I mean, because it picks up radiation as well, so it does the energy. And the two other people that I go investigating with, we've all got the exact same make and model. So then if there's one going off and the other one's not going off, then there's something not right with one of them, I think. So that's what I put it down to. But if you've got 2 or 3 of them and they're all going off and pretty much similar readings, not that that's happened yet, then that's going to be a good shout, I think.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we said about the K2 more for like ghost hunting, so to speak. I don't think they are. They are. That's the initial reason why people get them. But it's for picking up energy. So regardless of what's about, if there's something going on, you're going to pick up a different type of energy. So you're going to get spikes on these K2 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have. Do you know what? It won't surprise me if that went off doing this, because stuff has happened before and it's not been on camera. I'm so gutted about it. But I use them when we go out. For what I take pretty much all my. I've just got a little. We'll call it a man bag for argument's sake. Now everyone's going to start digging me in the chat. It's just about it. It's got my digital recorder in it, torch, laser pointer, EMF reader, 2 power banks, cables, cable, blah blah blah, and I can clip me radios onto it as well.
Oh yeah,
it's just one that goes over your shoulder, and it's only fact I can show you. I'll bore you. Just that, and that has everything in it. It's even got what you plug an outlet for your USB, so you have a power pack in there, so you can just plug it straight in. And I just
that's probably smart.
Just throw that over your shoulder. Everything fits in perfect. So when we go out for a normal walk, I'm like, we went to a museum a bit ago, and I'm walking around like dead sneaky with my K2 meter, see if I can get anything.
I don't blame you. I mean, I've got not as cool as that one, but I've got a little similar one which I bring around with me, a camouflage kind of one.
Oh right, yeah.
Bring around with equipment in and stuff. But like we were saying, sneaking in a museum. That's what I do, because I went to Sizer Castle, which is apparently haunted, and I felt so embarrassed just having K2 out there. Oh, ghost hunter! So I did kind of just sneak it just beside me.
Yeah,
but while I was there, though, I wasn't recording, but I was taking photos, and I did catch an orb on one of the photos.
Oh.
which is pretty spooky.
Have you still got it? Have you still got
I could do. I'm not sure if I deleted the storage, but I'll have to check. I'll send it to you if I have
Yeah, I was
got
going
it.
to say, if you've still got it, if you can send it to me and I'll put it up, I'll add it into the description on this. I'll do a link to it or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, is that all right? Cheers.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I just feel it's not that I feel stupid doing it. I just can't be bothered with, well, what's that for? What you doing? It's like, just let me do it. Do you know what? I
Yeah.
can't be bothered explaining myself to what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Because then you've got to go into, well, I do this and I do that. And it's you just want to chill and do your own thing without being questioned. So, yeah, it's more that than, not, like I said, not embarrassed for doing it. I just can't be bothered answering questions. So, yeah. Right. Oh, right. So I'm guessing this is a question. I'll add my own bits into it. If I'm wrong, UFO Joe, then you will no doubt correct me. So UFOs just put shadows. Let's spook him a bit. So I'm guessing he means shadow people, the Hat Man, all that kind of stuff. What is your theories on that? Have you seen any? Have you had any encounters?
I have. When I was much younger, I saw something very similar when I was much younger in my old house. I think I was very young. I was maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And it happened for a couple of months. Every time I'd go to bed, right?
Yeah.
The door, there'd be this completely black figure next to the door, but the only thing that wasn't black was its face. It had a really green, veiny face, much like. Have you heard of the movie They Live by John Carpenter?
Yeah.
They Live, yeah. It looked like it had one of those faces.
Yeah, where you put the glasses on and you can see them.
The glasses on, yeah. It looked like one of those faces with no hair and green, and like it had like a black body. And it would watch me every night for a couple of months until I went to sleep. And then it just stopped all of a sudden.
Did it ever try and communicate with you? Sorry.
It never tried to communicate. It never really did anything. It kind of just stood there.
Right.
And that was really strange. Like, it terrified me, and I told my dad about it and stuff. He believes me. But it was just really, really strange, whatever it was.
Right. So
and it just disappeared all of a sudden.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, you mentioned your dad. Excuse me. Sorry, I've just had a coffee. Have they had any encounters similar or completely different to what you've had?
Oh God, this is going to go into.
Talk about them.
It's going to go into a big rabbit hole, though. I'm saying now. Well, before I was born, both my dad and my mum went to Egypt on a boat on the River Nile.
Yeah.
And they saw a prehistoric aquatic creature, very like a. I showed my dad a picture of the Mosasaurus, and he said it looked very similar to that, like in the River Nile. While I was on the boat, and he saw it. He told the captain, and the captain said crocodile, hippo. But my dad and mum weren't the only ones that saw it. There was also a teacher on the boat that saw it as well.
Oh, so
so there's more witnesses, and then the teacher said it wasn't a crocodile or hippo as well. It was some really strange aquatic creature.
Oh, right. Can you? Sorry, I'm just going to open another screen. Can you spell what you just said? Because I have no idea how to spell these.
Oh God, I can try to. Mosa. So it's Mosa. So it's Mosa.
Mosasaurus.
Mosasaurus, yeah.
Right, here we go. That's what. Yeah, it is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Let me get. So I'm just right. I'm trying to find a decent picture for it. Save image. Okay. Oh, there we go. Downloads. Save. Right. I'm just sorry. Yeah. So do you want to carry on telling us that story just while I get this picture up?
Yeah.
Did you say what colour it was or anything like that?
It was like a brown, like a brownish green. My dad said, and
Yeah.
he saw just a bit of its back come out of the water, and he said that there was like all these scales on the creature until it kind of like slowly went back under the water, under the boat. I mean, see it after that.
Right.
But,
Here we go.
Mm,
Is that
almost exactly like that? Yeah.
it is a bit crocodile, alligator,
Crocodile. Yeah.
stroke. It's like crocodile's head, dolphin body, and then croc's tail.
Yeah. They're very, very. It's baffled me though. After hearing it.
Yeah. How big did they say it was? Do you know?
He never told me an exact size, but I showed him a picture, and it was a picture. And it was like an estimate, like next to a person swimming.
Yeah.
He said it was much smaller. It was about the same size as the boat, but I'd say maybe perhaps as big as a van. I think I'd say that's the best estimate I could say.
Like a transit van.
Yeah, very similar to that. Yeah, that kind of size.
About 7-8 foot long, maybe 9.
Yeah.
Depending. So between 7 and 9
not
foot,
that big.
Yeah. No, I just because I've got a transit van for work, so just trying to work out how long it is. Yeah. So I'd say about mine's about 8.5 foot, 9 foot, I reckon. So yeah, it's not that big, right? But then it's something that's not supposed to exist, regardless of size.
No, very strange stuff.
Yes, definitely. Right, I'm going to show you a picture. I don't know if you've seen it before. I do. I like putting this on because I do like the guests to give a shot of what they think it is. Now, this was sent.
Yeah.
You've heard of Jody Cook from North American Dogman Project.
I've heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably know who he is. Now, he was a guest probably about this time last year. And he sent this. Now, this is from a trail cam and it is Cannock Chase. Did get it confirmed?
Cannock Chase, yeah.
And he was having stuff. So the guy, a farmer, and there was stuff happening. I don't know the exact detail of what it was, but I don't know if there was livestock being taken or attacked, but there's stuff going on the farm. He wanted to find out what was going on. I think he said he thought it was poachers or something like that. So I'm gonna put these up, and then I'll do the zoom in one last, and let me know what you think.
No.
Right. So, and some people love these photos, some people hate them, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't care. So here we go. Right. So this is the first picture.
Right.
Right. So you can see it's like gravel or grain or something on the floor. Then you've got the back of a flatbed trailer. I presume that's what is pulled by a Land Rover or a Range Rover or a tractor or something, where you just put the straw or feed on the back. And then that's the negative to that one.
Yeah.
The second one.
Oh, so gosh.
There is no
distortion.
Strange. There's no distortion whatsoever.
It looks almost. Have you heard about the pig man that's been reported around the chase?
Yes. So that was that was around 1973 to 1975. The pig man.
Yeah.
Now I've got zoomed in of that, but this is the next one, which is the negative to it. Now these photos had been sent to someone that develops pictures, and he said nothing has been tampered with on the pictures. There's no overlays. The photos are genuine, but as to whether what is in the picture is genuine, that's another story.
Yeah.
Right. This is the third one. So you can see. So whatever it is moving, because the floor and the background and the trailer, none of that is blurred. And the same in the negative. Right. So this is the close up of that second picture.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that looks like it's got woolly type fur.
It looks like a sheep, like a sheep man or something.
Yeah. But
that is strange.
The more I found the original photo that Jodie sent to me. There was on my old PC. I transferred a load over, and then I put it into a folder that I couldn't find, and I found them the other day. Now, to me, that bit, it looks like it's got a tusk going from the edge of what its mouth would be up to its eye.
I can kind of see it.
I'm not saying it is, but it looks like a tusk.
It does. It looks like a wild boar or something, or like a humanoid wild boar, kind of like with like proper shaggy hair or fur, whatever you want to call it.
But the thing with it
is very strange.
It's got human type legs. So it's not got the haunches.
Yeah.
What like dogs have. It's got human foot, the ankle. You can see the calf. You can see the shape of the muscle in the lower leg. So people say it's fake. It does look like it is a knitted suit. I still can't decide if I believe it's real or not.
Was this a Cannock Chase as well?
Yes.
Would you mind sending me this after the live?
Yeah, because I found the file folder that everything's in. So just thought it's got a fringe, and I've just seen it has got a fringe. It's like brushing down.
It kind of does as well, yeah.
And I don't know what to think, to be honest. It's an interesting picture, put it that way.
For sure, yeah.
I'm gonna message Jodie this week, see if he's got the details of the person that sent it to him. Because if he has and he doesn't mind, then I might go and see if I can talk to the person who took it and get a bit more information from that. But yeah, there's the.
It looks quite small as well. Obviously, it is from a distance, but from a trailer, it looks quite like minimized, like quite like very short.
Yeah, so I'm going off the size of the shadow, and then the distance from the not the side of the trailer, but where the base of the trailer would be. I reckon that's probably about 12 foot away.
Yeah.
So, at a guess, and it is a complete guess, I would say that is no bigger than 4, maybe 5 foot tall.
One thing I would say, now I think about it, there was an account at Cannock where there was 3 troll-like creatures, and they were described as being around 3 to 4 feet tall, in like big hair, like with like long hair covering their bodies, very troll-like, and that kind of size as well. And that was seen in the Slitting Mill area of Cannock Chase. It looks very similar to how they were described.
So, with you saying troll, it does have them characteristics about it. It's like it's got a hunchback as well. Its shoulders look bigger than what it should be.
They do, yeah.
But because you can't see its left-hand side because it's completely shadowed out, it's hard to tell the exact shape of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Very strange for sure, yeah.
So someone's put UFO Joe's put in the shadow you can see a tail.
Oh right.
No, I think that's its hand that you can see. Its right hand.
It could be.
Because of the way the light's coming, the light's going to be lower, so that's why it's got a longer shadow. I reckon that's about 4 foot. But
I
guess it doesn't look as big as what I first thought.
But,
I'll send you
if
that.
UFO Joe was right, Chase, if UFO Joe right and it did have a tail, it backs up that it could be a troll because I've got one of these Norwegian ones here. they were also said to have like tails. So if it is a tail, then that could perhaps back up what I've seen and what UFO Joe said.
Yeah. That's right. I'm just bear with me one moment. Gonna see if I can find. Oh, don't tell me I've lost it again. I'm trying to find the original photo.
Yeah.
So it should be in there. Images. No. Sorry about this.
That's fine.
Not in that. Images. Random. Nope. No, I'll have to find it and then send it to you. I know it's on here somewhere. I just can't find it at the minute. I don't want to drag this out or what have you. I have noticed that you've got the werewolf out of American Werewolf in London.
Oh, the Kessler Wolf, yes. Behind me, yeah.
That's next on my list.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just thought the interchangeable head.
Yeah, its head's somewhere in a box up in the attic, but I've got it with its like mouth open. But I've never really seen any like decent Dogman type figurines, and so I thought this would be absolutely perfect for a background.
That is definitely the next thing to it.
Oh yeah,
there you go. I'll show you this one. So this is the only one that I could find.
I've seen that one before. I was tempted to get it.
I think I paid about £9 or something on eBay, but that's it's about 4 inches, 3-4 inches.
That's quite cool. It reminds me of
a lot of detail in that as well. So you got the
it reminds me very much of the Michigan Dogman. When you see photos of that, it reminds me very much of that.
Yeah. I was going to ask you that in the second half, but I'll do it now before we go for a break. What are your thoughts on the Michigan Dogman video?
Was that the one where it's on 4 legs?
Yeah, it's something like that. Then it runs for, and they're using like a cine film, but
yeah.
Do you know the story behind it?
I do. I know it's not real. It's a person in a ghillie suit, isn't it? And
well, it's 3 different stories.
Oh right.
So the first one that I got told was it was 2 athletes in one suit, so like equivalent to a pantomime horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why movement they had was that. The second one that it is real, but then they've added other footage into it that's CGI to make it last longer. And the original footage was only like the first 15-20 seconds or something.
Yeah.
And then after that, and then the rest of it was put in afterwards. But
possibly.
Then the person that filmed it has said that it's not people dressed up, it's not someone in a ghillie suit, it's not CGI. The original bit of the video is genuine.
Yeah.
Same again. You don't know what to believe. It's too much.
No, there's so much like misinformation and stuff going around. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't know, but I think it was Jody when he came on. I asked him about that, and I'm sure he said he believes that it was real. But
yeah.
I'd have to watch it back to remember what he said, or to find out what he said. So, right. Should we go for a 5-minute break? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Yeah.
Cool. Right. Guys in the chat, thank you for coming on. Please get your questions ready for the second half, and we will see you in 5. See you then.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And we are back. Oh, perfect time, that break. Don't care what anyone says. Yeah, I've sent you them images, and I've also sent them to you. Yeah, I've sent them to you as well, UFO Joe. See what you can come up with. Anyone else wants me? I found them. There's in a completely different folder that I didn't even think anything was in. So, yeah, anyone else want me to send them? Just let me know and I'll pass them on. Right. Next question is from Jojo, and she would like to know: do you believe in werewolves?
Well, werewolves is I don't know, because obviously you've got classic werewolf where it's kind of like shape shifting, where it's man to wolf and then backwards. I mean, you've also got the type of werewolf, or what I like to call the dogman, which is more where it is just in this one state. It's just this one being. There's this upright canine-like creature. I'd say I definitely believe in one side of the idea of a wolfman or dogman, where it's just this one separate being where it doesn't shapeshift or anything. I feel like I've heard stories of possible, werewolf like encounter sightings, I guess you could say. I definitely believe that there is this one separate canine werewolf-like creature, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So do you believe that there is connection between dogmen, let's call them dogmen and not werewolves, because werewolves to me is more the movie media side to it all. So like werewolves and Sasquatch, I said not using werewolf, dogmen and Sasquatch and Bigfoot, do you think there is a main connection between them and UFOs?
And UFOs, so like
because there's a lot, or most Bigfoot reports, there's always like some sort of lights in the sky or objects around at the same time.
I've heard many theories and ideas, but Bigfoots are aliens, like they are these extraterrestrial beings that use these crafts. I've never really done that much research into that idea.
Yeah.
But I can't really see it happening. I can't imagine what people describe as a big grey tape that walks on two legs.
Yeah.
Covered in thick fur, driving a futuristic, enhanced spaceship. I just can't imagine it, in my opinion.
But sorry, I was going to say, just with you saying that, look at Star Wars. I know it's not Star Wars isn't real, but
Chewbacca.
Yeah, Millennium Falcon. Where did the ideas come from? Because we are not Steven Spielberg, as we know, and George Lucas are all big into the paranormal stuff. But both of them, like I said with ET and what's the other one? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's it.
Oh yeah.
They're all very. It just seems to be. I love this saying: "Is hidden in plain sight." And this is what I believe is a drip feeding that's going on. So we are being shown, but because we're not being told, right, we're telling you now, and this is what it is. Just because they're not saying that, when a lot of people are not realizing that we are being shown, we just haven't been told that we're being shown. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with you saying that about I'm not saying you're wrong, because there is no wrong or right, but there seems to be a lot of like these Bigfoot sightings, and then you see a few prints and then nothing, and you just stop in the middle of nowhere, or there'll be a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, and then it'll vanish, and there's nowhere for it to go. There's no tree line for it to hide behind. I know a lot of them do go in it and they blend into the background and you can't see them. I get that.
Yeah.
But what about these ones that just you get around the bend and it's just like an open field and it's nowhere to be seen? Where has it gone?
Interdimensional teleportation.
Yes, right. So that brings me. I'm glad you said that, because this brings me to my next question. So one of the latest theories that I've heard, BMR, Rob, and Barry Littleton, Jessica Jones, and all them that do that part of the YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Now they're saying I'm not saying that that's what they believe, but they're saying that certain types of trees can be used as portals. Yeah,
That's one. I'm happy you said that. I thought I was crazy. I had this big theory that I've heard no one else say, where is the type of trees. Because obviously all sorts of things get started in America.
yeah.
And then you've got coniferous trees here, in which are hotspots such as Cannock Chase, Derby Forest, Harwood.
Yeah,
They're all these American trees which are native here.
Yeah,
pine trees, and that's where all these creatures have been seen. So
right.
if the fact that you said that the trees are what attract the creatures there as portals, that could very well make sense.
Yeah. Is it a specific type of tree? Because there's having a conversation again today, but obviously trees are a natural living creature. They're a living thing, so they're going to give off energy and chemicals and hormones and smells and everything else. So other living things that are tuned into that are going to pick it up. Now, my question today is, you know, when people go out searching Bigfoot, like in Finding Bigfoot with Cliff Barrettman and James Bobo Fay and the others, they're the only two that I think are any good. But anyway, when they're doing the whoops and the wood knocking, right? So when they hear a wood knocking and they presume it's a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot, now these Sasquatch and Bigfoot are supposed to be able to use mind speak and telepathy and other types of way of communicating. Why would they be doing wood knocks? Are they doing the wood knocks to see if that tree is capable of teleportation and not a way of communicating? To me, that would make a lot more sense that they're using a piece of wood or whatever on a tree to see what energy it gives off. Because if they can see the aurora, what every living thing has got around them, if they knock it, then that's going to be a different vibration again. Is that because they're trying to see if that tree can be used as a portal, shall we say?
Possibly. I was watching one of the many documentaries that Small Town Monsters does today, and I heard a good theory about tree knocking, which was many times it is recorded. I heard him say that it could be to tell other Sasquatches, woodworks, whatever you want to call them, that there are humans nearby. Like a quick wood knock or quick whoop sound, just to tell all the others that there's humans in the area.
So just be careful. I understand that, but then I was thinking today though, and it was literally this afternoon. Well, if they can use mind speak and telepathy over, I don't know how far, say a couple of miles, then surely they could use that to communicate without giving themselves away.
For sure, yeah. From that links back to interdimensional stuff. If they've got these superpowers where they can like
supernatural.
Yeah, that's a better word.
But so what is your take on the trees as portals?
Well, I'd like to think it's true. Mostly because I had the whole weird idea that the trees are what attract or what are used. And that's why all these places, these hotspots, are coniferous trees that are non-native to here in Britain. That's why we always get seen in America and not so much here.
Certain places around the world.
So I definitely think it's very reasonable, very possible that is the reason why.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Like you say, a lot of it is like the pine trees or the ferns, especially the redwood. And there are. I know we have redwood over here because there's a place not far from me, a place called Reuben Sands.
Oh yeah.
There's a golf course there, but all the trees are redwoods. And pretty much every single tree in, I think it's like 4 or 5 square mile. So that's one place that I need to go and do a weekend there, but you cannot get a phone signal anywhere in the area. You have to drive about a mile out to get a signal, and it's just it's a bit of a pain. But that is one place where I'd like to go. Jason's just put in the chat. Maybe that when they take physical form, they have to abide by our physics. Which
that could very well make sense.
Or could this knocking on the tree be saying, right, I want to go back now? Is that like open sesame? Are they knocking on the tree to open the portal? How do you open a portal anyway? You've not got a key. Is it
open? Harry Potter stuff. Wave a wand or something. A
wand, a natural piece of earth, which would be a stick. And that's what a wand is, isn't it? If you think about it. So knocking on the tree.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
The portal. Is that opening the door?
And what Jason just said as well, when we're in our world, we have to obey by our physics.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before as well, where lights are seen, like orbs. What if when these supposed Sasquatch disappear, they turn into orbs, very much like where before people see spirits or ghosts, they see these orbs first and then they manifest.
Yeah.
That could be what it is, Yeah.
So that's then changing their physical form into a ball of energy. Then travel to whatever realm, dimension, planet, what their home or their next destination. That might be their way of traveling.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's right. Ancient Ruby's just put something in chat, and it says, "Please read my above comment." But I cannot see it. Joe, can you help me, please? Sorry, Ruby. Can you rewrite it and then I'll put it up on screen, if you don't mind? Thank you. Yes. It's I think it's becoming more fascinating now with. I don't know why, but this last week I've just been really kind of obsessed with the Bigfoot thing. I've been thinking about it more. So it's like, what if it's this? And what if it's that? Do you know what I mean? So, right, it's just come through. Right, here we go. Right, so this is Ancient Ruby. I was told, Andy, they bang the tree to monitor vibration, and if they see a break in that vibration, they know someone is close. And if a threat, plus even the size of the vibration shows sizes. Yes. Sorry, Ruby, this didn't come up before. It's definitely wasn't there. But thank you. Yeah, like nickname just put a bit like sonar. Because as we all know of, that Bigfoot and type of cryptids use infrasound. So it could be another frequency that they pick. Obviously, well, with what Ruby said, it would be another frequency that they can use to communicate.
Oh yeah.
It's like a visual frequency.
Yeah.
We can't see that sort of stuff. Maybe they can. So it's all very interesting.
For sure, yeah.
So, but it's then, are they originally from our planet? Did they come from somewhere else? Make home here, and then they travel back. Maybe they've got two different habitats?
Habitats, yeah, homes.
I don't know. They might have more. Maybe they do fly the UFOs, and we just think Star Wars is not real, and it really is.
Too movies to see it, yeah.
So yeah, she's just put up. Woodpeckers do the same to feel if the tree is suitable.
So it's back to even more,
It's a natural thing. So, But right, so this will bring me to the next question. Have you heard of the tree people? Like Ents, not fairies or anything like that, but these. So when I was younger, like a lot younger, like not even in my teens.
Yeah.
I was told, I cannot remember to this day who told me, but I was told about the people that live in the trees, like spirits, not ghosts or anything like that, but they're part of the tree. So when you come out, they're like tree people, like I suppose wood people, like I don't know, like that.
I know what you mean,
like
yeah.
in the intro, do you know where it looks like there's a woman laying on the floor and she's made out of the tree? It's in the intro. It's vibrating like that, but real.
I know what you mean. There's this documentary I watched by British Cryptids, which is like that thingy where they bring back those VHS style videos, like the little short documentary things. And one of the videos is about the Twiggy Witch, which is here in Britain. And that's like You have?
Yes, but I don't know anything about it.
Well, it's apparently like a small being made up of like twigs and tree. And it comes out in the autumn time. And if it's ever frightened or scared, say by a dog or something, it kind of vanishes into like almost thin air. And it's very much like what you were saying with it's like tree people, kind of.
Yeah, but I remember the person telling me was adamant that these were real. I don't know if they were just trying to scare me or I don't know. And it was like 40 odd years ago. But it was just what they were telling me was so convincing.
Yeah.
And it's like they go into the tree and they look. So obviously the tree isn't like you stuck there. Like, it's like the tower you go in and it's massive inside and what have you.
Oh yeah.
So, but then they just come out as and when. I suppose it would be a bit like fairies or whatever you want to call them. Same sort of thing, but they're known as the tree people. Or that's what I've been told. But it was specific that they weren't fairies. So I don't know. I just wondered if you'd heard about it. I've asked a few people. Some have, some haven't.
Yeah. Is it like the Green Men? Like, you know what's famous around here? Where it was like all those like
the wood walls sort of thing.
The wood walls, yeah.
To be honest, I don't know. That is all the information that I can remember.
Right.
I think I've got a feeling that it was my gran that told me, like my dad's mum.
Yeah.
But they're not around anymore, so I can't ask them. But yeah, it's just about the tree people, and that was it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't got any more detail or information about it.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So right. We haven't got any more questions yet. Is there? Do you want to tell us about your? You've got a YouTube channel as well, haven't you?
I do. Yeah.
Right. Do you want to tell us about that? And Jo will, because she's so amazing, she will type it out and put it up on the screen for us so we can share it.
Sure. I started 2 years ago. If anyone does go check it out, I won't watch the old videos to sound proper squeaky. I'm tempted to delete them. But I also want to keep all my views as well. So I'm not sure if I want to delete them or not. But recently, I've been doing a mixture of content. I've been going on investigations.
Yeah.
And I've also been doing talks. Like I'm going to kind of chase in summer, which I'm slowly building up to. And before I actually go to the chase, I'm uploading videos where I'm basically talking about like a sighting that's happened at the chase or these creatures that have been spotted there. Like I recently done one on the trolls of Slitting Mill and the black-eyed children. I also did one on the Pigman as well. And I'm kind of building it up until I actually go do the full documentary over at the chase.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a mixture of investigation and just kind of like talks on recent sightings, encounters, and cryptids that have been seen. Thank you, Jo. Much appreciated.
And you should do it. Yeah, so I'll leave that up for a bit, so if anyone's watching it back, they can find it. But I'll also add it in the description wants to do all the
Thank
editing.
you.
Anytime. Yeah. So when you're planning on going Cannock?
Sometime this August. I'm going for 4 nights camping there, and I'm hoping to do 2 night investigations during my stay. I want to do 1 night investigation at the German cemetery, prisoner of war cemetery, because I know there's supposed to be the ghosts of soldiers which have been spotted there, and also this apparent dogmen which has been spotted there countless times.
You're not going on your own, are you?
Oh, of course I am. No, I'll bring my dad with me. That's what I did last time. I brought my dad with me. To me, I won't go on my own because there's been stories of satanic worship and stuff like that.
Yeah, I went to the German cemetery this year. I was off work for a week, so we've gone out for the day, and I just did a little stream. It was only like 20 minutes or something. Just around. This was during the day. It was very creepy.
Yeah.
But I think if you go at night, do make sure you protect yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been before to where the German cemetery is?
I went last time, not during the night, but during the day. In my opinion, when I went there, it seemed quite peaceful. But obviously, for different people, their experiences will be very drastically different.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know where the cemetery is? It's just before you get to the junction. So you got the cemetery on your left-hand side. You carry on over where it drops down and comes back up again. You know you've got the old tower, the communication tower.
Oh, Pie Green Tower.
Yeah, you can actually get in there. There's no gate. There's a bit of fence, but it's all been... Yeah. The fence won't stop anything from getting in, and you can actually get in there. There's no security on it. Or there wasn't at the time. I was planning on going back, but I think I might be going to Rendlesham instead. Because they're about the same. Where I am, they're roughly the same distance away.
The Pie Green as well is supposed to have a lot of activity. Apparently, one of the biggest places here to spot UFOs.
Yeah.
We've also had encounter sightings of the Pigman, Black-Eyed Children.
Yeah.
And then also Castle Ring as well, which is also close by, which is the highest point of the chase. Said to have all these stuff, and even an apparent Slender Man type figure.
Oh, right. I'd not heard about that one. Not there, anyway.
Oh, right. No, there's supposed to be like a, the Slender Man, right?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a humanoid creature very similar to that that's been sighted all over the chase.
Right.
So if that's connected to the Black-Eyed Children or not, I'm not too sure.
Right. Well, so there's one way to find out, isn't there?
Yeah.
Go and have a look. But there are, there's some. I went down to Stepping Stones. I think the place is called Brockton. So you can actually, before you go, I don't know if you already know about this, you can download an app called, I think it's Warwickshire Walks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've got to pay for it, but I think you get it free for a month. So if you got, and you can download it and you can look at the different walks. You click on one, and then it will show you 3 or 4 different ones, like shorter and longer versions of the same in the same area.
Yeah.
You click on that, and you can actually track yourself with a GPS as you're walking around, so you know where you're going. So it might be worth you getting that. I can send you the link to it if you want.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're only going like now and again, I won't pay. If I was going every week, I would pay for it, but because it's like a couple of times, it's not worth it. You definitely, make sure people know that you're going there as well. But I wouldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't put it out that you're going there because you don't know who else might turn up while you're there. But obviously, let people know you're going just in case anything does happen. Hopefully, it doesn't. Touch wood, but just cover yourself.
Yeah.
It's like Joe's put. He's put. You're going to be all right, which you will. But just, take all your crystals with you. Put it that way. You just got to make sure that you're going to be safe and people do know where you are. So yeah, you'll have to let us know when you get back.
I definitely will. Yeah, I'm planning to make a documentary. I mean, I recently got a drone for it as well, which I'm hoping to use for when I'm there. But it should be fun though.
Yeah, cool, excellent. Right, we have got a couple more questions for you.
All right, bring them in.
Right, so this is from Nellie Keller. It's more of a statement than a question. So going back to the tree people, they do say that these tree people. Don't say anything because I can't speak. They do say that these tree people can be nasty and attack, is what I heard. So I've not heard that before. I just know of the tree people.
Yeah, I can definitely see it happening. I heard a story where some boy wild camping with his friends. There was a boy who never, hurt trees, never like tore branches off. And while wild camping with his mates, he saw this tree person kind of like sitting there watching him until he ended up going back to sleep, and it wasn't there in the morning. So I can definitely imagine if you are a person that does frequently hatchet down trees, break trees, destroy the environment, that perhaps one of these entities might get annoyed, might be angry at you, and perhaps potentially pose a threat.
Yeah, because if you're destroying their home and their environment, you won't be impressed, would you? Someone come around like smashing your house up and car and whatever.
Yeah.
I can see where the tree people are coming from. Yeah, I see their side to it.
Yeah.
Right, so this is from Joe, and it's a compliment. She don't give many out, so make the most of this. Can I just say, Harlem, your mum and dad must be so proud of you. Impeccable manners and well spoken.
No, thank you, Joe.
Can I add, your knowledge on this subject is amazing. It really is.
Thank you very much.
It is, honestly. Just because you get, without it sounding horrible, you get a preconception.
Yeah.
At your age, all I knew about was ghosts and UFOs, and that was it. Didn't know anything else. But I suppose now you've got a lot more media. It's easy to. You don't have to go to the library. You don't have to. We were saying before, all I had was library and magazines and Arthur C. Clarke on TV. That was it. We didn't get anything else. Whereas now you just straight on the internet, you can find out whatever you want and then do your own research as deep as you want to go. So very impressive. Really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not what I can think of on the spot. Not really, no.
No. Right, I'll ask you one last question then, because I'm sure I don't even know why Joe's not asked this. So we was talking about Dogman. What do you think they are then?
Well, I've heard again many theories, ideas. One I heard was that they're possibly genetically modified or genetically made by government for whatever reason. I'm not too sure. Again, it could just be evolution or its own separate humanoid dog being. It's hard to know.
Yeah. Well, one of my theories, it's probably completely wrong, but I'll tell you anyway. Just with, like when we were talking about the German cemetery at Cannock, just with what went on during the Second World War and the experiments that Germany and that were doing, is it possible then that if Hitler was doing all these genetic experiments with people and animals and whatever else we don't know, if say he was getting back soldiers that have been injured or seriously wounded, what's not to say that he was getting them doing a Frankenstein type creature and mixing them with a human, and then these dogmen are seen at these, especially at the German cemeteries. Could that be some part of that dog man that's still human going back looking for its body or its colleagues?
Possibly, because I've heard plenty of stories of dog man or dog men being seen around cemeteries.
Yeah.
So if there is something like you were saying, where going back to try find the bodies, whatever, it could definitely be a possibility. And like we were saying with like a very much Frankenstein situation, another pig man. The story of that goes that during World War II, a lady was captured, impregnated with pig DNA, and then they were trying to create these pig-human hybrids for the war as a kind of weapon to use.
Yeah.
And so it's
like super soldiers.
Super soldiers, yeah, they're very much like that, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just something, because when I first started hearing about dogmen, it's like there's always seen near a German cemetery of like POWs or whatever, and it just seemed, well, what if there were experiments going on and there's turning them into these, I suppose, killing machines, and then the human part of them are going back to see what happened to the actual body. Do you know what I mean? That would make a lot of sense, because it is, especially in the UK, there are a lot seen. But also there are reports of during the Second World War that these werewolf type creatures were seen over on the German side of wherever they were fighting, like the other side of no man's land. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of them coming. Apparently, there's a lot of them coming over, and there's been a lot of accounts of that.
Yeah.
How true it is, I don't know. Apparently, there's a lot seen in France. A lot seen in the war during the Second World War in France. Oh, I can't get my words out again.
Yeah.
So it's just, we want some answers, but are we going to get any?
Probably not, but
no.
Just wait and see.
No. We can keep asking, and we keep getting fobbed off. So, right. So we're done, I think. Unless if there's anything else you want to add, you are more than welcome.
Not anything I can think of.
No. Right. Well, I just want to say a massive thank you for everyone in the chat. Thank you, Harlem, for coming on.
Thanks,
absolutely amazing. Thank you, everyone that listens on the podcast. This is going to be going out on there in a couple of hours' time. Please do subscribe if you've not already. I'm doing a countdown now to 1,000. So I was doing a count up, but I thought a countdown will be better. So I was on 189. I think I'm on 187 or 186. So once we hit 1,000, I will never ever ask anyone to subscribe to the channel. Once it's if you do subscribe, then please do stay subscribed. Because obviously I want it to go up more than that. But obviously I'll get a couple of quid here and there if people subscribe, and it'll help me keep the channel running. But yeah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for people listening on the podcast. Thank you everyone joining the chat tonight and keeping it respectful. Really do appreciate that. That was my biggest worry tonight. There is no stream next week because I'm on my holidays, off of me jollies for a week. Nothing too exciting, but it's just nice to have a week off. The following week, on the 7th of July, I've got Joe Hickley Hall. And then on the Sunday night, on the 9th, I'm on Alex Lovelock's YouTube channel as a guest. And then the Wednesday after that, it's me and Chris from Scottish Paranormal Podcast doing a review. And we need to change that because the one that he wants us to do, I can't access it. So I'm going to have to change it. But yeah, thanks again for coming on.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, hopefully when you've been to Cannock and that, more than welcome to come back on and let us know what, if anything, happened. Even if nothing happened, just tell us your experience while you was there.
Yeah.
Looking at something. So, right. Gonna go. Have a great week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks with Joe Hickley Hall. So take care, everyone, and good night.